Okay, here on my 1999 Ford Explorer 4.0 liter single overhead cam, I'm getting ready to reinstall my 6 injectors that I had sent out and cleaned. Just what I got. I actually had a video of me tearing apart all this stuff. However, my video files got corrupted and I couldn't show you guys that, but I do have another video of me removing my upper and lower intakes, which is what you'd probably do if you was going to do this job or something similar. But when you see how I put it back together, I think you'll be able to see what I got going on here. But here's my fuel rails. This fuel rail has a plug on the end. It goes back this way, and you notice this side is open. There's two bolts here. Basically this is held in with 2 bolts like this, and the other one, this one has the fuel pressure dampener. This isn't a regulator, it's just a dampener. This goes on the back here like this, facing towards the back, and it bolts down this way. Now you see this one is open as well. As you can see, this side is open. It's open here. That's because the fuel line coming up, here's the fuel Schrader valve. It has these O-rings, they pop in each side. So that's how that works. They bolt in here. So I'm going to get busy putting these back in. Okay, getting ready to throw my fuel injectors in. All I'm going to do is just lube this up a little bit, WD-40, and then I'm going to pop them in. Put a little WD right here. Just a drop. And I'm going to throw some into the fuel rail here. But just a little in each one. Just a little bit. Like I said, it fits in there this way, so I want my injectors to face that way. So, but I should be able to just shove this in a little bit. Kind of, you don't want to just force it in, you kind of want to twist it a little bit like that, and it popped right in. Face it that way. That should be good. I mean, they pop right in, especially if you lube them up. Just give it a little turn. And should bottom out. Okay, last one. I'm having to hold the camera weird. And that's in there. Okay. Alright. Here's the 4 bolts that hold the fuel rail down. The ones that look like this, they have on the wiring harness, you'll see where this slips over that. There's one on each caddy corner. So you got one of these and one of these on each side. You got 2 of these and 2 of these, but this part here is what holds the wiring harness. So I want to get these started, hopefully. Just set this out of the way a little bit. Let me lay these flat so I can get these out of the way. There's too much wiring harness here. But just gotta fit this underneath here. pop these in. Just gotta work them in, hopefully. I gotta lube up these new seal adapters. Okay. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm fighting with it. Oh boy. Let me get these bolts started. Just gonna get this bolt started. Get this bolt started. This is, I think it's a 10 millimeter. That's a 10 millimeter. Just getting it started. Make sure I got these lined up. This one's being difficult. Okay. You gotta put some weight on this thing to pop them in. Feel like they went in. Snug these up for now. And remember, like I said, don't drop anything down here. That'd be bad. Okay. Now, gonna put some more weight on these things just to make sure they're seated. These things are hard to reach. Oh boy. Yeah, man. I think they're seated. At least I hope they are. Okay, let me show you guys. It took way longer than what it should have, but as you can see, they're seated now. They're pushed down in there, I hope. But I got that side in. I'm gonna pop this side in now, hopefully. Okay, I did the same thing. I lubed up my seals on both ends, lubed up the fuel rail. These injectors facing out. They're all pushed in nice and neat. Getting ready to install this other fuel rail. And yeah, gonna pop these in. Pull back on this. Putting these bolts in, don't drop them down the intake, that'd be bad. Just getting these started a little bit. Just a little bit. Making sure my injectors are lined up in the holes and everything. Just gonna start this. I'm popping these down. Okay, I have all my fuel injectors bolted down, fuel rails in, all the connectors hooked up and plugged in. Should be ready to go. Next I'm going to do is pull these bolts out here and install the fuel. You know what, actually no, I think I might put in my lower intake gaskets next. I don't know. Okay. Next I'm getting ready to put in my lower intake and torque it to spec. Now I'm not going to videotape that because I already have a video on that. I'm going to replace my gaskets lower and upper last time. So I'm going to I'm just telling you what I'm doing next, but I do have a video on that if you guys want to see how I did that. Okay, I'm going to point out one thing that I didn't point out last time. If you look at the lower intake, you see all these screws, holes, are the same size, except for, they're all the same size except for this one right here. The third one up on the right. And I believe, I'm not 100% sure, you have to check this, but I believe when you put this back in, this thing has to be on the driver's side. So, be in there like this. You can put it in like this and it'll be backwards. You want it to be like that. At least that's what I read on one of the forums. Didn't say that in the book, so I don't know, but that's one thing. This different size hole wants to be on towards the driver's side. Okay, as you guys can see, I got my lower intake back on, and all it was, I set it in place. I have those 12 bolts snug down. I just put them in hand tight and then barely snugged them down in a kind of a crisscross pattern, you know, kind of like that. But I just snugged them. I still have to torque them to spec, and I forgot what the spec is. I got to go look it up. But that's where I'm at now. It was just 12 bolts, 6 on each side. Like I said, I already have a video of this, but that's where I'm at right now. Slowly getting this thing put back together. All right.